He was a brilliant starfighter pilot. But what is Wedge Antilles' life story? The Kagrizaz presents Star Wars Lore Episode 91, The Life of Wedge Antilles. Antilles was born on Corellia and had a busy childhood, whether it was working at fuel depots or farms in his spare time. This experience helped him become a pilot and a mechanic. A little while later, Wedge was recruited by a friend into the Alliance to restore the Republic. He came to hate the Galactic Empire after the ruling power hurt those close to him, including his family, friends, and a former lover. It is said that his recruiting friend was Ahsoka Tano, or Fulcrum. Antilles' days as a rebel never started off smoothly. One of his first few missions saw him crashing his A-Wing into the rim of a volcano. He was, of course, injured by the event. He broke his leg in 3 places and was limping for months afterwards. The crash almost had Wedge facing an early retirement as a rebel pilot, but he convinced those above him to let him work aboard a freighter until his wounds healed, on which he manned laser cannons and sometimes carried out the role of navigator. Throughout his service, he became friends with other rebellion pilots such as Big Starklighter, Jack Porkins, and Derek Clivian. Antilles was stationed on the Yavin 4 rebel base when Princess Leia Organa presented stolen Death Star plans. Such would be used to find weaknesses in the Empire's battle station. Wedge was given the job to oversee a simulation test for the young but promising Luke Skywalker. He explained the details of the simulation to Luke and noted he'd done quite poorly on his first try. However, the Corellian told Skywalker to not give up, which gave him a boost of confidence. In his second try, Luke managed to beat Wedge's high score. Soon after, a meeting was held which debriefed the rebel pilots for an attack on the Death Star. General Jan Dodonna outlined a plan where the attacking starfighters would fire a proton torpedo into a 2-meter wide reactor shaft that was connected to the battle station's core. Wedge didn't believe such a small target could be hit, but Luke quickly told him otherwise. Skywalker's story of shooting around 2-meter sized warp rats on Tatooine encouraged the other pilots. When the time came to attack the Death Star, Antilles was part of Red Squadron and used the call sign Red 2. In addition, he piloted a T-65B X-Wing starfighter. During the battle, Wedge displayed his brilliant piloting skills. He destroyed many TIE fighters and other Imperial spaceships, but sadly witnessed his friend Porkins' death. This helped motivate the pilot even more, and he later helped Skywalker on the Trench Run, where he shot down pursuing TIE fighters. Not long after, Wedge joined Skywalker when Red leader Garvin Drace failed to fire a torpedo into the reactor shaft and was killed by Vader. Antilles covered Luke but had to retreat when his X-Wing was badly damaged. Fortunately, the young pilot managed to complete the objective and destroy the Death Star, with the help of the Millennium Falcon, of course. Sadly, only 4 ships returned to the rebel base, and only 2 of the 12 Rogue Squadron members survived. They were Skywalker and Antilles. Around 3 years later, Antilles was stationed on Hoth's Echo Base. He served alongside Skywalker as veterans of Rogue Squadron. Unfortunately, the Empire discovered the base and planned an attack. Soon Hoth had many Imperial walkers and troopers engaging the rebels and trying to destroy the base's energy shields so their forces could land. In reaction to this, the entire Rogue Squadron fought back using snowspeeders. Skywalker led the squadron, but they quickly discovered the AT-ATs had powerful armour, meaning laser fire was pointless. Luke then ordered they all use their ship's tow cables, which would cause the walkers to fall to the ground, effectively immobilising them. Wedge and his gunner, Wes Jansen, were the first to try the idea. Jansen fired the cable at one of the AT-AT's legs, and Antilles piloted around the vehicle to tighten the cable. The plan worked, and the Corellian was able to fire shots at the downed walker's exposed neck. This made him the first pilot to destroy an AT-AT on Hoth. Although Rogue Squadron had a solid plan, their efforts were ultimately unsuccessful. The AT-ATs destroyed the shield generator, and so Imperial forces, led by Vader, flooded the planet. This forced the rebels to escape. Wedge helped the last rebel transport, the Bright Hope, escape the icy planet by using an X-Wing. Around 6 months later, Wedge stole a Lambda-class shuttle named the Tydirium from the Empire. This craft became an integral part of plans to destroy the second Death Star. He attended the debriefing for the attack on the Rebel command ship, the Home One. Chancellor Mon Mothma revealed that Emperor Palpatine was on the Death Star to oversee the end stages of its construction, and Admiral Akbar outlined a plan to attack the battle station's reactor core. However, the deflector shield generator had to be destroyed before an attack could be made, so General Crix Medine briefed the soldiers who would do just that on Endor. Antilles, his squadron, and the rest of the Alliance fleet arrived at the Endor system only to find the Death Star shields were still up. As it turned out, the Emperor had a trick up his sleeve, but I can't quite put my finger on how to describe it. Hold on.
Hello?
Hey G, my main man, Lucas, yes.
What do you want?
So I'm making a lore video for Star Wars, you know, the space opera. Don't know if you've heard of it.
Yeah, I'm aware of it.
Anyway, I need someone to help me describe what Emperor Palpatine did to the Rebel Alliance fleet in Return of the Jedi. Can you help me?
Actually, I do know a guy.
It's a trap!
The Rebel fleet then faced an onslaught from Imperial forces. Antilles and his squadron tried their best to protect the Rebel cruisers until the ground team on Endor completed their objective. Wedge and the Millennium Falcon, piloted by Lando Calrissian and Nien Nunb, set their sights on destroying the reactor core. With TIE fighters in pursuit, the team raced along the Death Star's insides, skillfully navigating through the battle station's interior. Eventually, Antilles was able to destroy the North Tower's power regulators, and the Falcon fired at the actual core. This caused the Death Star to implode, leaving the three pilots to race against time out of the structure. The two ships just managed to escape the massive blast that consumed the battle station. To celebrate the recent victory, the Rebel forces headed to Endor for a big party. Wedge shook hands with Chewbacca, or shook hand with Paul I guess, and hugged Luke. The future now looked bright, and Antilles looked forward to continuing his service with Rogue Squadron. What happened next for Wedge is covered in the recent canon novel, Aftermath. For the sake of not wanting to reveal spoilers, I won't discuss what happens, but basically he continues his adventures as a pilot. With the new canon, Wedge's story will continue to grow, which brings me to this week's question. Would you like to see Wedge Antilles in the upcoming Star Wars films? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to learn more about Antilles, such as his personality and skills, click the link on screen or the one in the description. Remember to vote for next week's episode by linking one of the free comments below, and for more Star Wars lore, keep it locked here to the Kaguzan.
We're just going to do a tiny bit of a discussion. So to start it off,
I wanted to talk about what were your thoughts on the graphics and the sound and like not exactly the gameplay, but like
Just the like aesthetic.
yeah, the aesthetic.
Yeah.
That's the word I'm looking for. Do you think they've hit the nail on the head on it?